Alrighty, welcome everyone. Sorry, I'm slightly out of breath. I just ran outside to swap packages. Amazon delivered my package to the next door neighbor and the neighbor's package to me, so I had to run out and switch them. Welcome everyone, I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Super Dimension Fortress Macross. I hope you are feeling super and potentially dimensional today. We're here for episode 7. Last time on Super Dimension Fortress Macross, we debuted the greatest defensive tactic that has ever been imagined, powered by 3 teenage or young women with trackballs, and it's glorious. I still don't know how to feel about it. It's so weirdly on that tone of anime perfectly, that I kind of want to scream anime janai because it's just reality at this point. Trackballs are weird, super shields are crazy, the Daedalus attack maneuver is utterly buko bonkers, Misa Hayase is cool, even if she's no Obasan, and Hikaru Ichijo got to become a fighter pilot and fly around in combat a little bit, and it's a lot. He also got to rehash his personal trauma and struggle with killing humanoids, because he did kill some people, shooting some planes down and some robot mechas and things, and then he sees an actual giant human thing, and he's got the gun at him, and again, he doesn't have to make the choice this time. Everything explodes, but it raises the question. When he does have to make the choice, when somebody's under threat, when it's him under threat, will he choose to pull the trigger on a Zentradi? Probably should. Today, for my drawing, I drew the Gigached Macross punching the Virgin Pickle Ship, while the terrified Zentradi watches on. I'm very happy with it. I hope you enjoy it as well. If you're enjoying our journey through Macross, and I can't see how you wouldn't be, if you're one of the 700 or so who are actually watching these videos, you seem to be enjoying them. Because look at it. I mean, look at it. It's hitting some beats, man. It's hitting some beats. It's doing this slow burn thing with some of the character stuff, but at the same time, it's like the most rapid character development and story progression that you could possibly ask for. Compared to the other show that I'm watching on the same day, ZZ Gundam, where we still haven't left the station. We're out in space, in Pluto, a fighter pilot, the relationship is going, we've spent 2 weeks on a desert island with the cute girl, we're like struggling with murder as a core concept, we've introduced multiple interesting Tekka things and evolved on them, the enemies are clear and coherent, and everything's going in a direction. What direction it is kind of unclear, we're kind of headed toward Earth. How meandery that journey will be, I don't know. How comedic it will be continuously, I don't know. But man, it accelerated quickly. Now what? More of the same, I think. There's so much stuff that you can do. This is a long journey, and you can come across a weird alien asteroid, or get attacked by Zentradi 1,000 times, or Hikaru goes on a date with girl, like... Lin Min Mei. She has a name with a girl. Anything can happen. And it will. And we'll enjoy it, I think. So let's watch more Macross and see what we have going on here. There was a comment at least that I wanted to talk about, so let me go grab it. Yes. Xing Shang Shamalama writes, keep calm and carry on. The destruction caused by the Macross transforming and the whole issue about Minmay helping her family to get back to normalcy really is a microcosm of Japan during the war. Not just being invaded by someone, being at war is destructive to a nation. Things are sacrificed, things are destroyed, people die for it, and the population has to just go on like normal. People swing hard into carrying on like normal. That feels correct to me. That feels like you've nailed something there. When everything is chaotic, I think people grab onto the things that give them the slightest sense of normalcy. Like, if you just, in your mind's eye, see a, like, dilapidated burning house, and there's a little kid in front of the house, they're not, like, in danger, right? But they're in front of the house, everything that they have has just been destroyed. What are they holding? They're, like, teddy bear, or their blankie or something, right? I don't mean to give you a horrifying, sorrowful image, but that's exactly what we do as adults and older folks too, right? We cling to the things that give us some sense of comfort in a chaotic world that's all hell. And when it gets worse, the more and the harder we cling. And when it gets scarier, the more and the harder we cling. And this happens on a smaller scale too, even if you're not at war. When everything is a struggle, when the economy is doing poorly, people cling to attachments and media and characters and love and sex and drugs and things that make them feel a semblance of calm and coherent. And one of those things is a normal day, like a work-life balance job, right? A thing to do, a restaurant to go to. We live a normal life. We drive a car around our little town. Outside the town, it's fucking space, baby. Shit's crazy out there, but right here, we're okay, I think, for now. Unless everything explodes, which it might, and that continuous, like, thrum of fear in the background pervades everything. Yeah, it's cool. Good comment. Thanks, Xing Chong Shamalama. The fate of everyone on the ship left to a trackball. How many people die when one of the ladies pinches their fingers like we all used to do when playing Centipede? Thanks, Joe Russell. I never played Centipede on a trackball. I think at some point we had like a digital version of Centipede on a computer or something, but I never played it in an arcade. So, like, this is a generation gap, man. I got no idea what you talk about. I mean, I can imagine. It's a trackball. You move it around. It does the thing. You're going to pinch your fingers. Ow. Crap. Ship explodes. But, yeah, never did that. Trevor Rock 1, which I think I already referenced, says, "What is this tone? It's anime. Macross is the anime of anime. It is the standard bearer. It is the one that says, I am anime. And on the other side, we have, I am not anime, coming from ZZ Gundam. Bullshit. Bullshit." And Trevor Rock 1 also continues to say, "There are elements of parody in Macross. It's clearly in part a parody of Space Battleship Yamato. The show is self-aware, but in a sincere, not cynical way. After all, otaku culture was brand new. There was no time to be cynical yet. The ship being defended by girls operating trackballs as though they were playing an arcade game, namely Centipede, reads to me as one of those parodic elements." Or, Missile Commander? Yeah. Reads to me as one of those parodic elements. I like the distinction between sincere and cynical parody. And it's actually a really interesting one that I don't think we bring up very often. In fact, I don't know if I've heard it brought up at all. An immense amount of modern parody feels like it's in bad faith. Or not in bad faith, but it's cruel? Or like schadenfreude-laden? It's like mocking and insincere, sarcastic and biting and cynical, as you say. And Macross is like, wow, what if we were having a fun time in all this space stuff? Oh, in a weird way, this is hard to say, but in a weird way, it reminds me of Dimension 20's Starstruck Odyssey. Starstruck as a world itself is pretty cynical. The graphic novel, which I've read most of, it's pretty cynical, pretty dark. There are, like, just to give you an example, there are running in place booths in space stations, RIP, RIP, and the running in place thing is you literally go in there and it takes your lifespan away. Like, a period of your lifespan just gets taken away and you get money. So you get money for, like, a bit of your lifespan, like a year, and you get some money. And then people can go into these running in place things and pay an exorbitant amount of money to transfer lifespan into themselves, right? So you can see how that might have some allegorical implications for our current world. It also sort of feels like the terrible, stupid thing from Jupiter Ascending, but it's much better implemented in Starstruck. Starstruck Odyssey, Brendan Lee Mulligan's campaign that he runs in that universe, is aware of all the darkness and stuff, but man, it takes this lighthearted, really fun, sincere tone where these people are kind of trying to make their way in the world, right? And we're sort of positive about the human element in it. Here, it's like, it's a little bit like that. It's positive, sincere parody, and it's got a smiley quality to it that just isn't there in a lot of the comedy parody stuff that we have these days. A lot of the comedy parody stuff that we have these days feels kind of dark. It's like It's like somebody who can't really write a show decided to make fun of somebody who tried. And it's kind of dark. It's like watching CinemaSins. Sorry to any CinemaSins viewers who are in the chat, but see that stuff gets me I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like you've built your entire life's work off of tearing down other pieces of media because you like film. And so what you do is criticize, and you specifically have to criticize. Like, you can't just critique, you can't just review. You have to be angry about it, right? That's your business model? Ugh. Gross, man. Ugh. Like, on the label, I'm gonna say I hate this. Gross, man. Macross doesn't feel like that, though. It doesn't feel like Cinema Wins, either, where it's just trying to be altogether, wholeheartedly, foolhardily, Pollyanna, rose-tintedly gorgeous, right? It feels like it's just having fun in the world, and it's willing to have stakes and like darkness and intrigue too. And that's what I find so weird about it, or so tough about this stuff, is that in the same episode as Trackball's goofy weebity 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 weebity, first off, a whole population is at stake for those trackball wielding girls. If they fuck up, the ship explodes. That's bad. Second, in the same episode, we've got our character face to face with a humanoid with a gun pointed to him, and we've got no parodic element to that. There's no joke there. There's no, ha, maybe he'll learn to kill and become a hardened soldier who loses touch with his emotionality, as he states in the date sequence that he's genuinely afraid of, as he becomes a soldier to impress the pretty girl who doesn't seem all that impressed by his soldiering. Oops. Uh-oh. Yeah, so that in the same episode together. It's the juxtaposition. It's where they're placed. What is that? I don't know. But it's anime. And it's definitely Macross. And I think I'm here for it. I don't think that this is in the tone of complaint. This is in the tone of curious and bemused and, ready to watch some more. So let's go ahead and watch some more Macross. I think I've covered all the things that I wanted to... Oh, man, that one just came over me. I think I've said all the things that I want to say. Let's watch the next episode. We're on episode 7. It's up and ready to go. There will be early access to the next one on Patreon. Beep beep timer from Macross episode 7. Let's go. And I have tea. My second batch of the iced tea. Oh my god, that got stronger. It was sitting for a while, so it did get stronger. I wonder if you can buy a motorcycle helmet that looks just like Hikaru's helmet. I mean, I know that it's a jet fighter helmet, but they make fighter plane style motorcycle helmets. I wouldn't buy one because it doesn't have a chin bar. And I want to keep my face. You know? So apparently the debate is between Waifu War Battle Misa Hayase and Lin Minmei, which is reasonable. Also, I'd throw Claudia into the mix, because Claudia is like tall muscle mommy. You know? I don't know. Also, they're both wearing heels on deck, so... Bye-bye! How are we gonna get to Mars? Mars is fucking close to Earth. And very far from Pluto. Oh, are there Zentradi living on Mars? Or humans? Oh boy. Are they gonna explode Mars? Are we saying goodbye to the planet? Oh. It's an ancient abandoned alien base. New characters? Maybe the leader of this is an actual character? Sona. Okay. Oh, that's what you do? That's what you do? Oh, he sounds great. He got drunk and killed everyone? Give me a... Holy shit! Dude! Learn to drive. Kamushin... Okay. Hi, what's up? Oh no! Well, you should just kick him out then. Oh, we're giving him a chance, huh? I can't imagine how a reckless fool could screw this one up. So this is the daily grind, huh? God, the scale of these battles is continuously impressive. Okay, what the fuck? What the fuck? Nothing looks like that. It's gotta be Itano. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I feel that. Oh my god. See, these sequences are like organized. They're absurd. You should not be doing this. This is the daily grind, huh? How many do we lose on one of these battles? Brad. Gravity? What makes you think that? Plot. He knows. He knows the plot. Hey, town. What do we got? Oh, hi there. Oh, wow, she goes to school. Oh. I was just in a firefight, you know? Hmm. Hmm. What do you mean she got a good eye? What? Whoa! Hold on! Wait, but we should probably pay attention to the casualties, though, at least. I get it, but... Propaganda. And the war rolls on. From Minmay? Oh. Oh, birthday party? Oh, wow, that was a hard cut. Oh, the lure. Wait, how are we gonna get so close to fucking Mars? Aha. So we keep getting driven toward Mars, and now a reason to go there. So Earth, Mars, right? Everything else. We were in everything else land. We haven't been past Jupiter. We did Saturn, right? We're just futzing with the solar system. Okay, what's her deal with Mars? Oh, she's hoping that her ex is there. But I'm sad for me. But I'm sad for me because you don't get to stay. Where are the grapes? Erina. Where's Dio? Mm-hmm. That dream died, huh? Oh, wow. And of course that doesn't come through. Aww. Oh, poor Hayase. That's so cute and so very sad because he is very exploded. That dude is super dead. Oh, we already saw that Zentradi flew by and were like no life signs, so we know that that's a dead end, man. That's cute. That's cute. That's good. Ooh. A little groovy track. Oh! Wow. Hide, 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 hide. We're ready. Oh boy. Ooh, what's that? New mechas. Okay, how badly is this bad guy gonna fuck up? How badly is this dude gonna mess these things up? We've got him. Oh, shit. Move the mines! Move the mines! Okay. If you say so, you seem awfully confident. Just face down on the dirt. Hey, that looked really good. What are those exactly? Oh. Wow, we've got some fucking arsenal. We've got a lot of military tech on this thing. I guess it was a... Damn. That does look great, doesn't it? Found supplies. No life signs, though. Oh. No, don't do it! No, don't do it! This freaking guy. It's a personal... Please? Oh, wow, yeah! Wow, and Claudio jumps in. Ah, you're serious about it? I'll take you seriously. I like Captain Global a lot. He treats his crew with so much good. Uh-oh. Ha ha ha. I expect great villain shitting themselves. Like, fully destroying himself. That thing is dope. That's got a lot of cannons on it. It looks good. Huh? Fuck. Oof. Alright, let's watch out for her. Man, I get Rakoa vibes. I don't like it. Scares me. Oh, we don't normally see characters running around in suits very often. This is cool. Very. She's really well animated. There's a feminine flow to every bit of her movement. Not just the form, but the flow, the movement. Will she realize? She's gonna realize the trap, right? Over the hill they ride. Glump, 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 glump. Yeah, why is he waiting so much? Oh. They didn't charge it up? Bro, you're gonna blow it. Somebody shoot it down. Oh, he's gonna shoot it down! Nobody saw that, right? Honey. Hold on, don't get close to the city. But they're still moving closer, right? Or no, they're already in the trap zone. Okay. Oh! Oh, shit! Let's bounce! Let's bounce. So calm. Very calm, Claudia. Wait, didn't those rip themselves out of that? How are those back? I'm actually quite curious about this. We were pretty explicit about those ripping out. Alright, they got him. Now we're in trouble. It's only by this guy's stupidity that we're gonna be able to get out. Oh, that's what we were waiting for. They're caught. Okay, good, we did it! Or bad, we did it. Bad, they did it. Here we go. Etano Glory. Yep, riding right over the hill. Galumph, 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 galumph. Are they all gonna hit the gravity? They all into the whoop. No. Unless we punch it. Baka, eh? She always calls her a dummy and she always gets sad about it. Aww. I really wish they would change that voice effect. Ugh. Yeah, this looks bad. What are you thinking? Explode the base? Oh, foil him with his own trap. Yeah, could do it. Cool. I like the little designs of the layout things. She's already there. But there might be. So she's got to let go of the past and become emotionally available for the future. Not for one boy who's not even alive anymore. Come on. Come on, Hayase, let's go. Yeah. Better me than anyone else. Even there, she stands with the 1 foot forward. It's almost a ballet pose. She's continuously moving between like artful poses. What a thing. What a thing. All of the animation on Hayase moving around this station has been really lovely. It's been really lovely. Defense, defense. Yeah, bring as many of them in as we can. Let's go. All right, backing it up, backing it up. Yes, yes, we are cowards. Chase us. Chase us. Yes. Oh. Oh. Skeleton in a bed? A journal? Oh, dude, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Oh. Fucker to the rescue. When River isn't the one. Oh. Fuck you, man. What do you mean? She's great. Oh, boss, son. Get some taste, kid. Jeez. Fuck you. Oh, shit. Am I a Hayase stan now? Did I just become a Hayase stan? Minmay did invite everybody to her fucking birthday party, so, you know. Hayase's been pining after the same dude for like 10 years. Okay, this looks cool. That's pretty cool too. Let's go save the lady. Hey. Hey, you're getting you out, girl. Oh my god. I thought we were gonna color shift, but the books blow away. Come on. Uh. Nope, you're coming with me. Oh, shit. Oh, God. No. So that's less good. I thought she had given it up of her own accord and been satisfied, but no. Oh. Oh. What a good dramatic thread. It's a potent dramatic thread. And off we go. Did we just do a storytelling? Whoa. Did we just do a storytelling? I think we did. Is he alive? Tell me he's alive. Yes! That means we can have more of him. No. Okay, we're really close to Earth now. We're at Mars. Can't keep staring off into the distance, lady. Goodbye, Mars. Whoa, what a frame. What a wallpaper. What a frame. Woo! Oh, God. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, there will be planes in the next episode. Spoilers. Spoilers for the next episode of Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Macross is going to be in it. Did we just do a storytelling? I think we just did a really strong storytelling in this episode. Isolated, personal, character-driven story in the adventure framework of our journey. That's just there. There's a little wibbly bit about it, which is that the math and space doesn't work out. Like, we're almost home. Unless I'm just wrong and we're going to get home super fast. And then everything goes on from there and we like start mounting a battle against the Zentradi from our home base. Totally possible. But we're like really close to home, so I thought we were going to be venturing in the solar system for a while. I don't know anymore. Outside of that, we've got sort of 3 pieces to the well, no, we've really got just 2 pieces to the episode. There's the Misa stuff, the high SA stuff, big fucking emotional core dramatic plotline that is the punch of the episode, the Daedalus attack of the episode. And then everything else is the physical, like need to go to the place and the operational details of the circumstance. Actually going to the place, moving all the stuff, getting all the supplies, moving stuff back and forth. And then the part that I think is the other part that I'd actually highlight, that all is like glue. That I'd actually highlight is Hikaru's attitude toward fighting and war is, throughout this episode, a little bit interesting and different. And it's not front and center, which is really intriguing to me, and I think very powerful, that Hikaru's story in this episode is in the background. And it's got sort of a couple of steps that all happen in isolated little moments. So I want to go through those and just talk about them, because we can talk broadly about the Hayase story and how well it was done, and specifically about specific elements of it that I think were done really interestingly. But we need to talk specifically about the specific Hikaru moments, because they're specific, distinct, and small, and they have huge impact. So, what's the first one? He's flying. The ship next to him explodes. That could have been me. And he looks down, knowing he just lost a friend, an ally, and it could have been me. Okay, this is stage 1. Phase 1, here. Phase 2, we go out on a date. He's walking sort of glumly around town, right? I guess we get the leave here, right? He walks around town. He's tired, and meets up with Minmay. Hi, what's up? School got canceled. We had an attack. It's great. It was all lies. What was the announcement? The announcement was the squadrons killed all of them, destroyed all of them. Everything is safe. It's not that way. What they're telling the population is the war is going great, and that's not the truth. That is the nature of every major front in World War II. As the German front was collapsing, the war is going great. As the Japanese were collapsing, the war is going great. I guess that wasn't really collapsing. It was different. It's hard to say. The war is going great is the propaganda line because you want to keep your civilian population in line and doing the things that they need to be doing and not freaking out, because the last thing that you want are people scared and rioting and freaking the fuck out. But it's not true. And when you're right in the middle and you're actually actively seeing it in the world, and you the same day walk right out of your post where people are dying into a calm city where people are going about their daily and believing that everything is fine, there's something wrong. And you're in a turmoil land where you're living a lie. Because if anybody knows that you're a soldier, they might come up to you and be like, great fighting out there, thanks for protecting. And you're like, I'm murdering people and my friends are dying. And they're like, patting you on the back, good job, thanks for serving your country. And you're like, I murdered people and my friends died. It doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good at all. And everybody tells everybody at home that we're heroes. And I know what I did. I'm murdering people and my friends are dying. And it's destroying me every day. And I'm falling apart. And this is good? So this is pretty cool, and this is stage 2. And her response to it is, well, we'll never get anywhere in this war if we're depressed all the time. Let's go! Whee! And I get it, right? Yeah, true. You can't be sitting there being all glum and focused on war, death, dying, murder, and your friends dying. But it is rather important, isn't it? And it shouldn't be ignored. You can't live in a Pollyanna rose-tinted world when you actually have to go back to the battlefield after this. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful and lovely and really powerful to have somebody who's like this, who's able to see all the bright side all the time. And it's something that when Hikaru gets darker, he might be able to lean on. But it's also thin. As resilient as Minmay is, we've seen her hit her despair end, right? Like, we've seen her flip-flop and lose that stability. I don't know about her as like an emotional anchor man. I don't know. And come to my birthday party. And that's the sort of the next part, is that when he asks for leave from Fokker, and Fokker's like, oh yeah, well everybody else wants it too, because they all got invited to the birthday party. You thought you were special, boyo? You thought you were special, boyo? Not special. Damn, man. And then, that's sort of part 2.5. Part 3 is the actual battle sequence, where, as ordered to, for the purposes of saving Hayase, we order Hikaru in, and he drops down and 1v, like, 10s a bunch of these bots, just, like, blows a ton of them up, drops in the middle, is spinning around, Rambo style, 1v10, even gets the kid has gotten really good from Fokker. And he's on it, right? Like, he's really on it. He got no compunctions about the killing stuff. Seems like a dope pilot. The actual sequences are really awesome, and I assume that Itano had some effect on some of them, but like this, moving through the cloud of smoke, it's really cool. There are a bunch of moments that are like that are just really cool. Or this sweeping, it's really cool. He looks confident and powerful and strong, and he's moving into it. So at the same time he's becoming more and more disillusioned with his role as a fighter pilot, he's also becoming more and more adept at it. It's pretty perfect, right? You're the best for the job, and you're not sure if you want to be doing the job. Yeah, good stuff. And then there's the Misa Hayase. Oh, and there's Goofy McZentradi, who I quite like. I hope we see plenty more of him, because villains who foil themselves are a personal favorite of mine. Oh man, I gotta mention the scope of the battles, because there were 2, I think, sequences in this episode that were just like kind of absolutely stunning. The amount of space that's represented here, all of this space, all the way into the like landing pad, And stuff is flying in and out and around and back. It's all planned. You're swooping in, dropping bombs, flying the other way, zoom, bam, boom. And then they don't exist, and then they come into close enough to the camera, and they start to exist. They appear, right? But they're like gnats. They're believably enough placed when they do so that I think they were engaged in a real combat before they entered the space that I can see. It's not like they were just sitting there waiting for me to get there in frame, right? They were already going, and then they're visible, which means that the artist, Itano, I'm certain, I'm so sure, the artist knew where all the ships were and how they were shooting each other before he was drawing any of them. Like, you draw 3 ships, right? Like what we can see in frame right now, or some debris or whatever. And they've all got a direction, okay? And there are 300 more ships. And Itano knows where all of them are and which direction they're all going to go. And he has to, in order to correctly draw in a way that's believable to your brain, them flying in and out of the space that you can see. Your field of view is really limited, but the battle is bigger. And to produce the effect of feeling like the battle is so much bigger, he has to keep the battle in mind while only showing a piece of it. How? How? How is this? What the fuck? I don't know. Man. That's nuts. Okay. Hayase bit. It's a perfect setup. As soon as she hears about the thing, she's interested in it. And her interest takes the form of a heartfelt set of breaking character, right? She's not in her perfect mode. She starts to phase out a little bit, and we use that to zoom into her memory, into her past. We experience it with her, and these scenes are so idyllic and iconic. I made a joke. I was like, haha, it's JoJo's, right? But if you go back and you read chapters 1 through 3 of Part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what you'll find are there are a number of scenes of JoJo and Erina out on an idyllic countryside landscape with a tree with a nice crook that you could sit on near it, and they're hanging out in the landscape because that's the romantic ideal. We're in idyllic childhood romance period. This is the perfect thing that gets shattered by the occurrence of something else narratively, right? In JoJo's, it gets shattered by Dio appears, right? Your perfect quiet life, and boom, have a bowling ball named Dio. Here, it's war. He goes to Mars. He's off to Mars. Bye. And it's all hinted at. I'm not a great fighter. I just want to come back. Your dad pulled strings. I'm sent to an blah, blah, blah. What is her exact line? Well... Oh, whoops, don't go telling your dad that, the being on an observation base part. Okay, got it. But it means we can't see each other anymore. That's it, I'll join the military. And so we see so much of Hayase's path and life was built on this totally fantastic romantic dream. This myth in her mind of this guy who was out there that she was going to go and meet and be with someday. And it's not going to be, even if Mars wasn't what it is now, and right, he was still there, and it probably wouldn't be. It's probably all dreams stuff. Stardust, That's the argument of the episode, is that this rational, modern, adult woman is overwhelmed by sentiment in a moment. And I think it says that anybody could be. I think that's interesting. Like, it's not to be. It's not realistic. It doesn't make any sense. And you'd think this character is a military-trained commander, leader. Of course she'll be rational. No, all of those things are layers on the outside. On the inside, that's a monkey. That's a monkey in a spacesuit. And she was in love once. So everything she does from that point onward makes perfect sense to me. Except, even though it makes sense, staying in the chair. Everything up to that point makes perfect sense to me, but the, like, I'm so depressed I'll just sit here and die doesn't track. I don't do that. It's just not the way that I function, I think. But it makes sense, too. It's so good. It builds up so much of her character, even if it's a story that I've seen before, right? Long lost impossible love has to be given up on, is the story. The woman who's waiting for the merchant sailor to come home, and he doesn't, and finally the letter comes home that says that his ship was lost at sea, and she pines for the hope of one day, and then travels to the Americas, and of course he's never there, and she has to eventually come to terms with that, and move on. And she can't, and she must. And I thought she did, but she hadn't. And now she must. And she must. And let's be clear, narratively, I think she must. Now, narratively, we didn't have to introduce Ryber at all, right? Misa Hayase could be single for her entire life and just, like, the kind of woman who's like, gosh, I wish I had a boyfriend, but, oh, God, I don't know how to talk to men, right? Totally possible. Could be emotionally available all the way through. But I think what this does is it sets up a deep and potent, multi-layered character who is now explicitly romantically available, but has baggage. And that's much more interesting, isn't it? And maybe really doesn't want to date a soldier. You know? Because that last soldier that she was really into, he kind of got gone, you know? So when, Roy Fokker, for example, just to throw out an example, because, when Roy Fokker and Misa Hayase start to move toward a romantic engagement of some kind, just as a hypothetical possibility, you think there might be any problems with that? I think there would. I think that's great. I think it's great. This is color. This is deep foundational stuff for our characters. So here's my request, my humble ask. I want a Claudia episode. I want a Captain Global episode. I want the girl who keeps getting called a baka episode. I want episodes for all these individuals. Let's flesh out the cast, man. Let's flesh out these human beings. Let's get to know them as people. Let's treat them like they're people. And once you do that, real magic happens. So this is the okay. I'm going to relate it to something else. That is the Star Trek. Okay, Star Trek has lots of group episodes that are all, the whole squad. We're everybody on the bridge. Yes, we're going to warp 2. Move to warp 3. Fire photon cannons, right? Sir, they're contacting us, right? Like, okay, great, cool. Tons of episodes like that. But what makes a big chunk of Star Trek live and breathe is that you have frequent, mostly, hour-long, 40-minute long, whatever they are, episodes about individual characters, right? You get individual episodes about Kira Nerys and Deep Space Nine. Individual episodes about Picard, force him out of the circumstance and into a different one. Individual episodes about Riker, and individual episodes about this character and that character and this character and that character. And then, without any effort at all, with no added difficulty, what happens is the traits established in one character and the traits established in another character, their deeply rooted, complicated backstories inevitably click or clash in interesting ways. Inevitably, if one character got stranded on a tropical planet, another character is from a tropical planet, they're going to run into each other in interesting ways, right? Inevitably, if one character is a prolific, promiscuous, miscreant fuckboy, there's always one, and the other is a hard prude because they've been, they come from a culture that's like that, or they've been belittled for their sexuality or something like that, they're going to come into conflict. And those are the sorts of things where if you did one episode and you were like, we're going to establish that this character is this way and this character is this way and they have a conflict, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You don't have the time or the flow to make it happen. But what you can absolutely do is have an episode where this character wrestles with their like promiscuous family's like heritage, and this character wrestles with STDs, right? And you have these two separate episodes, and then later in a second season or whatever, an episode comes up where an alien shows up that really wants to bang the prude one and doesn't want to bang the promiscuous one, and everything gets complicated and there's a plot line. Like, that's an episode. Boom. So what I'm hoping for here in Macross is that we get those really intriguing individual character-driven episodes on the level of this Misa Hayase episode, because this puts a chunk into, like a real chunk of Misa Hayase's character and existence into my mind. And now it's sitting there and it's waiting. And just on the shelf, Misa's there. She's real, and I believe that she exists, and I believe in her feelings, and I believe in the power of them, and I believe in her irrationality and her ability to do crazy things when she really cares about something. And all of those things are just sitting there waiting. So if at any point we come up with something really cool and crazy that Misa Hayase might care about, and if at any point we have like a romantic interaction between her and somebody who's a soldier that makes her think of the past, those are the things that just come right off the shelf and can be reused, can be applied, and it ends up so much richer because of it. It ends up with these emergent interactions between the characters that end up really rich and detailed and juicy. Peanut butter and chocolate, baby. Yeah. So that's my hope. Individual character episodes interspersed with a good swath of these group style episodes, or simply continue doing it in the A plot, B plot, half sort of way, where each episode requires the whole squad and the whole ship and all the stuff to do all sorts of things, and has a little bit of battle and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and about 10 minutes of the runtime are dedicated to an emotional journey of a character. Bang. Bingo. That sounds like a winner to me, because this episode is actually a home run as far as I'm concerned. If I watch this in a weekly show airing seasonally, fuck yeah, I'm happy to come out of that. I'm so happy. I'm so pumped to come out of that episode. I mean, what have we had? Contextually, we've had about half a season of doing stuff, and then bam, we hit with an emotional, solid, centered, character-driven episode, promising much more of that for the future. Yes. Love it. Into it. Super into it. Full faceplant Macross, I find very funny. All the mechas moving around are really cool. You've got a ton of heavy ordnance. This set of faces from Hayase and Global, as we get closer and closer to it, and as she really puppy dog eyes him, but like she's not manipulating him, she's just focused, right? She's just got that like, this is a serious thing sort of look, the eyebrows drawn in, and the hair over, and I think her and we pull into Global as he really studies her and then gives her permission. I love this shit about Global. It keeps kind of happening, and I gotta mention it. You've got a commander who really, really listens to his underlings. He really, really listens to his staff. Thinks about everything. I've complimented him on his care for the civilian population before, and I still am into that. But this is the next thing, He's really caring about, like, the safety, well-being, and emotional health of his staff. It's good. It's good. All right. On we go. Yeah, some robots drop down. They look cool. And Misa Hayase gets to run around a ship. This is the last thing that I want to talk about, I think. Every single time she walks around, she is so femme. She is so femme. Right? Atata, atata. Every single pose that she takes, she keeps like one hand in, like restrained, with the other one sort of out. It's so you can just see her running like this. It's so amazing. I'm not making fun of it, to be clear. I'm really not. I'm actually extraordinarily impressed by it. I think it's really gorgeous. There's so much there's so much personality to it. So much and respect too. I don't know if respect is it. Again, study though. Like, the person who drew this has studied the way that a bunch of people walk around and move, and is truly as not that many. Well, a lot of animators are students of motion. It's what the thing is, but students of human motion, students of walking, and students of standing, and students of watching people. You know, I met a woman who a couple weeks ago, I went to a concert, and I met a woman who reminds me of this sort of mannerism, this sort of way of holding yourself. Um, um, she she was doing a burlesque performance during one of the acts of the concert. The whole concert was for this chick's birthday party, who's like a photographer in the LA music scene. I didn't know that. I paid $12 to get in. It was great. It was a great concert. Couple of weird bands, goofy people. It was in a very like the branding of the venue is very LGBTQ plus friendly. So a lot of the bands were, and a lot of the people there were. So there was some kinky stuff going on. There was a couple with like cat ears and tails and stuff, but that was like the end, little pause, and that was the extent of it. They were having fun, just dancing to the music, pretending to be cats. Good for them. This woman did a burlesque show during one of the performances, one of the shows, and it was pretty cool and pretty hot. But I ended up talking to her outside. She was out for I think waiting for her ride or something. But I caught her attention and talked to her, and she sat down with me and we talked for a while. But she reminds me of this mannerism quite a bit. Trained dancer, ballet for like 20 years. I think she said, like, I've been doing ballet since I was 4, was what she said. And she said it doing this motion, right? I've been doing ballet since I was 4. And the reason that we got into this conversation was because I asked her, she was continuously holding herself in all of these poses. And I was looking at her and just like, you're like painting. What are you doing? The fuck? You stand in poses. You just keep standing in poses, and like you sit down and you're posing. Are you aware that you're doing that? And her answer was no, not at all. Have no idea that I'm doing that at all. It's just the way that my body naturally rests. Super beautiful. Really interesting to be around. I love being around dancers. They know how their bodies work. It's amazing. That reminds me of this. Partly because of the control and the posing thing, but also because of the absolutely effortless and totally unconscious femininity. So dramatically different from conscious expressions of femininity that I've seen. Equivalent, I think, to flip it would be the difference between macho masculinity, I'm gonna fight you, and what we would think of as like unconscious masculinity, stability, strength, calm, these things that are more the stable thing. When you see a martial artist on the flip side, a well-trained, really solid martial artist who's utterly confident in themselves, a man, a woman too, but in terms of that stance and physical form and flow, they'll move through space as though they're ready, right? As though they're steady and ready and calm and coiled up like a snake, like a spring. Coiled and ready, but utterly relaxed, right? That's the sort of aesthetic vibe that you'll get. That's like, in my mind, that's unconscious masculine energy, strong and stable. These are all just broad, flowy things. These are artistic representations. I'm not talking about what male is or what female is or what gender is. I'm talking about artistic representations. Okay? Does this character read as femme? Misa Hayase in this whole sequence reads as exceptionally femme and effortlessly so, in the same way that a martial artist reads as effortlessly masculine to me. Or as a ballet dancer, who I met the other week, read as effortlessly feminine to me as well. It's really cool. And it's so distinctly different from overt feminine sexuality type of thing or overt masculine sexuality type of thing. So different and so cool and so subtle comparatively. So I'm going to go to Sakugaburu. I think it's a long shot to guess that any of this Hayase stuff is going to be listed, but it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot, so I'm going to check. Nope. No, one of the big chaotic battles is listed with an artist unknown. And Toshihiro Hirano is listed for, yeah, with that sequence where the mech explodes. Here, let me show you freaking quickly. There. This one where the mech explodes, this one's listed as Hirano. All of these things fly through, and it's all the shading on them. It's presumed. I'd believe it, though. All the way that that's like, what? Boom, boom. So each time that the light flares go by, they cast a shadow on the mecha. Yeah, and then it gets hit and implodes. And then bunch of stuff that I don't know if all of this is Hirano. I think that some of this might be otherwise. Actually, I think that this missile shot is reused. I think we've seen that exact missile shot in space, just on a different background. I don't know. It's pretty baller though. It's pretty baller. Okay, I think I've said my piece about Misa Hayase's movement. I really, really like it. She's sort of, like a deer. Prances around this location. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. It's very compelling to watch the character run around. And it manages to do something amazing, which is this is a woman in a tight suit, you know? And there's definitely something sexy about her, but to me it's that like feminine grace thing that I find sexy. I'm not like looking at her parts, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just a stylistic difference, time frame wise, that characters were drawn somewhat more realistically 30 years ago, or maybe otherwise. But like there are plenty of scenes where her hips and legs are in frame, but they don't feel like the focus. And even though I do find these scenes compelling and I find her interesting to watch, I don't feel like I'm ogling her. So there's this interesting line that's being walked. There's also something about the way that when the glass comes down, I really like the outline that we get of her. She sort of hops to, stands in this like foot forward perfect pose. It's like a Kill a Kill character pose or something. I don't know. What am I thinking of? I don't know. I could see her in really high heels with cool skirts on a metal stage, you know? And like baby metal. But it drops down and we get this like almost nude of her that just shows us the lines. And there it's even more clear that she's in this statuesque sort of pose. She's stepping out into the light. The rain is shimmering on her hair. The Pantene commercial plays. Like I don't fucking know, but it's weird. It's like iconic. It's cool. I don't know. It's cool. I like the whole scene. Oh, that was a little bit more snappy. Aha, I'll fight ya. And the airlocks close. She finds herself in Ryber's room, flips through his books, unable to really reach out and connect with the man she was trying to meet. And when Hikaru shows up, she refuses. She tells him, no, leave me here. And he takes her anyway. Whoosh, and away we go. The dream dies. Man, that explosion is nuts. Implosion? I don't know. Nuts. And then we get this gorgeous, like, render frame that's just truly wallpaper worthy. Just lovely. Top tier episode. I want more like it. Individual character driven, isolated, centered around the people on the ship. Add in some cool combat and stuff as icing on the cake. Why not? Yeah, man, I'm into it. Oh, and then with you get candles with the fucking idiot dude who's the bad Zentradi who kills his friends. Candles. Cake, icing, candles. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sprinkles? Are there sprinkles anywhere? Do we have sprinkles? No. Cake, icing, candles, everything that we need. What a good episode of Macross. Let's wrap there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more. Get it early on the Patreon. Linked in the description. And I'll see you next week for more. Peace!